in the last video on this channel, make sure you go check it out if you haven't yet, we tested the Rick Owens Kiss boots to see what you could actually do in them. But one thing we didn't do in that video is look up close at all of the details to these incredible boots. So that is what we're gonna do today. We are gonna take a deep dive on these and look at all of the little details, the little intricacies that make these things so freaking cool. So let's fucking do it. Yo, before we get too much further, subscribe to the channel. I make tons of luxury and streetwear content, and also if you're looking for deals on luxury and streetwear, check the description. I've got some of the best sites with all authentic stuff. Check it out. So the box is your typical Rick Owens box. It's absolutely massive, but these heels are massive, so how about that? It's got the logo right in the middle, textured gray. You know how it goes, but let's take a look at the tags, the stickers on the side of this box. So we've got our retailer sticker here, but the one that every single pair should have is this one right here. So we've got the model number up at the top, and you can look that up to make sure that yours show up. We've got the name of the model. These are the beveled platforms officially. We've got a colorway, and this one is in black clear, obviously black for the main part, clear for the heel. And then we've got our sizing right there, and this is a size 43 European, which generally translates to a US size 10, but we'll definitely talk more about that very shortly. We've got a barcode off to the right, and then in the very top right, made in Italy, all caps, and that's not quite as bold as the rest of the text here. And that's really all there is to it, aside, of course, from the outline off on the left side. All right, now it's time to finally open this box up and get that full unboxing experience. Oh yeah. We've actually got some nice packing materials here. This goes over the toe of this one. Got some stock paper inside. Of course, the classic Rick Owens tote here that comes with pretty much every pair of shoes. It's got the embroidered script logo right there. Same color. It kind of doesn't show up very well, but it is there. And then I'm sure we've got our other heel in here somewhere. And we do. That's also covered in the foam right there. And actually a little bit more around the heel, which is really nice. And then we've got a couple other things in here which I find really interesting. The most interesting of which is this right here. Now, what are these? Well, these are actually the kind of like heel guards. You can see down here at the bottom of the heels, there's this little opaque guard right here to kind of keep it clean, any scuffs will mostly happen right there. So they actually give you 2 extra ones in case these start to wear, you can replace them, which is absolutely fantastic. Most luxury shoes don't give you many extras like that, so I appreciate that because this, you really want to keep it looking clean, so the replacements are awesome. We've also got something else in the corner here, which is like a little pouch almost in gray. Now, what is inside that? And it is a little pamphlet right here. It's got the logo down at the bottom, and it folds out to 3 panels here. The furthest left one on the inside is English, and it's talking about the product has been made with leather that has been naturally treated and tanned with minimal finishing, etc., etc. So really all luxury things have this. It's saying we kind of like hand make this. There are very limited quantities. If there are any pieces of weirdness to this, anything that looks wrong, that's just kind of the way it's meant to be, so don't complain to us. And on the back, you've got the Italian panel. The middle panel is the logo one. And then on the very back, it's got the Owens Corp information right there at the bottom. Now, let's take a closer look at these bad boys, am I right? Like, it's finally time to get up close and personal here. So we can see they're really solid black, and this is a leather upper right here. I believe it may be calf leather, actually. And then you've got these elasticated kind of like Chelsea boot portions here in a kind of like ribbed mesh almost. Quite artificial feeling, I will say, but nice and thick and have a good amount of stretch as well. You can really see the grain pattern in that leather. Rick Owens has great taste in leather. Everything I've ever had from him has been made out of this material. It's always like the best quality, which is sick. And this upper is really only a couple portions right here. This is all one piece right here, going all the way up to the vamp. Then you get this stitch right here, so the heel portion is its own kind of section of leather. And then you've got this pull tab here, and this whole heel counter is also its own portion that sits atop that heel portion there. And then these go all the way down and sit right underneath and go into the heel right here. Now at the front, you've got a kind of squared off toe, and then they meet this plastic bevel right here at the top, this kind of grill. And this piece is just so sick. It's this giant protruding guard that comes out and over the sides of the toe right here. And at each side, it's got like 3 silver tone metal screws going in that hold it in. I'm not sure if these are actually screws going in or if they're just for show, but it does create a very cool industrial look. And look at how clean all of that is. The way this is going in and then they fade as they get to the top, and then it's completely smooth. Just really well done. You've got like a stacked leather sole here. You can see each individual portion going down right there. And that thing is meaty. Like, there's my finger. It's the length of pretty much my entire index finger right there for scale. And then of course you've also got the heel. In this case, it's like a clear polyurethane. I don't know exactly what it's made out of, but we've got that guard that we already mentioned at the bottom, which is a more opaque kind of matte plastic. But then the heel itself is completely clear and super clean. The back of it is rounded, whereas this right here is a hard squared off edge. It kind of juts out right here, comes in that way to meet the bottom of the shoe. And then you can see how this is affixed with this kind of screw going in here, that it's then the clear plastic is molded around. The sole at the toes is the classic Rick Owens like shark tooth pattern, as you can see. And there it is from the bottom view as well. And if you follow this down, carved in at the back is Rick Owens Vero Cudio, made in Italy, and our size 43. And then you can see right there where the leather is kind of like puckered for the sole, and then it keeps going until it hits the plastic for the heel. And now let's take a look inside these. You can see how tall they are from this perspective as well. So we've got our leather pull tab right here. It makes it a lot easier to get on, which I love. And you can really see the stretch here. This will stretch as much as you need it to, which is awesome. And then beyond that, it's fairly simply put together. You can see it's more leather on the inside. It's another layer of this. And again, the grain pattern on that is beautiful. And then you've got the counter that continues going down. So it's so hard to see, but on the insole there is imprinted the Rick Owens logo. But that's all I can really give you because the insole is glued in there and there are no size markings or anything on the inside of this like you'd see on the tongue or something of a normal shoe. The only size information is on the bottom of the shoe like we already saw. So the reps could very well be quite deceiving here, which would be pretty interesting to see. I'd love to see a rep on this, but these things, you hold them and you can feel the quality. You really can. All right, and I think the final thing to do is take a look at these on feet and talk a bit about the fit and feel of these boots. So first, let's talk about the fit, the sizing. I get this question a lot. I see a lot of people wondering about this because Rick Owens shoe sizing is kind of all over the place. Geo baskets fit quite big, quite roomy, whereas something like the runners, the maximal runners that I've got, they fit much more snug. So on that spectrum, where do the Kiss boots fall? Well, I would say they fit quite snug, quite tight, but that is a good thing here. You do not want these when you're so up high on these heels to be flying all over the place and flopping around. That would not be comfortable at all. You would not feel secure in those heels, but that being said, like I said, they do fit snug. So I generally wear a size 10. These are size 43s, so they fit me really tight, really perfectly. However, if you are in between sizes, I would go up to the nearest size rather than going down because I think in that case they would be just too tight for you. And now how about the feel? Well, there are a couple ways to go with this. First off, they are much more wearable than you would expect. You can actually walk in them quite easily. I didn't really feel any significant balance issues or anything. I'm definitely not used to being that high up. It adds an extra maybe 5 inches to your height, which is absolutely nutty. But other than that, I found them very wearable. That elastication for the Chelsea boot kind of cut, makes them relatively easy to get on and off, and the leather is fairly soft and supple. You will notice, especially at the curve where it goes from your foot to your ankle, you will get creasing. That is just going to happen wearing them, taking them on and off. That is a place where you get creasing, but as you break them in, basically what I'm saying is the leather is going to need some breaking in. It's not totally tumbled, totally soft, but they are quite comfortable, surprisingly so. All right, I hope you enjoyed that. These Kiss boots are some of the coolest shoes I have ever owned. Make sure you take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.